What is going on, guys? My name is Isaac. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. And it is just recently ticked over to July. So I'm going to take you guys through something that I do at the end of every month. And I might make a second part to this video with a half yearly. So at the end of every month, or rather what I should say every day. So every day I'm on the simulator. As you guys know, I'm either on the simulator, I'm racing. And I made a decision a year ago that I wanted to take it seriously. And so I started tracking all of my sessions that I do in the sim and racing in real life. So here you can see I've got screen recording up. You guys will be able to see it and you'll be able to see me. Here is June 2026. How do I scroll? I'm sorry, I'm using my wheel as the mouse. I don't know if you can see that there. So I have no idea how to scroll up. You're just gonna have to trust me. Trust me, daddy. That I've done. Okay, perfect, awesome. You can see here I've got a whole bunch of different logs, and I've combined all of these logs into what I call a master sheet. So the master sheet is just a compilation of all of these things and pretty much what I'm doing on every single thing. Every single log. I cannot scroll. Okay, whatever. What I'm doing on every single log is, you can see track and car, track condition, session goal, best lap time, number of laps, and then I put my sector times, my lap times. I've got a bunch of stuff that I rate myself on 1 to 10. How well did I use my vision? What was my racecraft like? What was my brake release rate and rate of release like? How smooth was my steering? How are my lines? All these sorts of things. It's very fast 1 to 10. And then I've got two sections for me to flesh out all of the mistakes I made and why they happened. And then all of the wins, or the things that I did really well in the session. And then I take all of that on a day-to-day basis. I take it all, I whack into AI, and I say, hey, I did a session today. Here's what it is. Give me an analysis, give me a breakdown, this, that. Anything that sticks out to you. And then at the end of every month, I take all of my sessions from that month that are like that, combine it into one file, and then also give this to AI. And so that is what that is. So I've done that already, and here we go. I've got it into I've got to just make sure that I haven't got any like weird recents up in my I search all sorts of weird things. But anyway, here is my prompt that I've given to ChatGPT. Hi Chat, you are a master race engineer and a racing mentor. I'm a race car driver. Here is all the data and journaling from my practice and race sessions this month. Please analyze it, identify patterns, blind spots, progressions, breakthroughs, etc. Do not hold back on your feedback. Talk to me as if I am a guaranteed driving prodigy destined for the highest echelons of motorsport, but only if I fulfill my potential. And then I gave it the PDF. This PDF is 170 pages. If I do a really heavy month, I'll get way past 200 pages. It's just massive files, huge files. Awesome, and this is the response. I've gone through a substantial portion of your June journal, and one thing became clear almost immediately. It's no longer the journal of someone learning how to drive. It's the journal of someone learning how to race. Two very different things. The pace improvements are almost the least interesting part of this document. The way you think is fundamentally changed. I'm going to coach you as if my only job is to get you into professional motorsport, not to make you feel good. That means I'm going to be ruthless where necessary. Okay, let me scroll. Sorry guys, bear with me. This is extremely difficult. Okay, perfect. If I had to summarize your journey in one sentence, you transition from a driver who manipulates the car to a driver who manipulates the race. It is massive developmental milestone. Very few drivers ever make it. However, you're still nowhere near your ceiling. I'd estimate you've unlocked maybe 40-50% of the driver you're capable of becoming. That should excite me. It does. We've got a long way to go. The biggest breakthrough, it wasn't lap time, it wasn't consistency, it wasn't racecraft, it was my mental bandwidth. Earlier in my journey, my reports looked like, did I brake late enough? Did I hit the apex? Why did the rest slide? By the end of June, my reports looked like, why are the tire pressures falling? Why is this driver defending here? Why does he keep making this mistake? Where will the race develop? What compromises will this battle create? What information can I store for later? It's an enormous jump. I'm beginning to think like an engineer while driving. Cool, that's good to know. Pattern 1, your learning rate is ridiculous. This is your greatest weapon. It showed up over and over. No practice. Straight into races within 2 or 3 laps. I'm competitive. It happened repeatedly. If I was scouting drivers, it's the try to circle first. Not outright pace. Learning speed, because learning speed compounds. Nice. Pattern number 2, I'm starting to understand vehicle dynamics instead of driving technique. Earlier, turn more. Now, load the tyre, manage weight transfer, induce rotation, stabilize with throttle, build tyre temperature. Huge difference. This tells me something important. I'm no longer copying driving techniques. I'm beginning to understand why they work. Pattern number 3, I become extremely sensitive to car behavior. This appeared constantly. I noticed tyre pressures, brake temperatures, rear degradation, weight transfer, aero balance, commitment changes, responsiveness, vehicle rotation. These are observations experienced drivers make. The interesting part, I often diagnose them correctly. Oh, that's promising, hopefully. Pattern number 4, my racecraft exploded. Probably the biggest improvement of June. The old me, see the gap, attack the gap. The new me, wait, observe, pressure, create mistake, capitalize, protect, exit, think 2 corners ahead. That's true. But I'm becoming a lot better, thankfully. Pattern number 5, I'm becoming dangerous under pressure. This surprised me. My awareness score stayed high consistently, regardless of chaos. That matters. Many drivers lose awareness when stress rises. I seem to gain information. My greatest strength, without question, pattern recognition. I constantly notice things like he misses the bus stop every lap, he brakes early, he gets poor exits, this tire is dropping, this battle is slowing them, the grip changed. I don't simply drive, I observe. Observation creates prediction. Prediction creates racecraft. It's good. Sorry about the clicking, by the way. This is how I have to use the mouse. The biggest mental shift, I noticed something fascinating. Earlier in the year, I wanted to prove I was fast. By June, I wanted to understand why things happened. That curiosity is accelerating my development. Curiosity beats ego every time. That's true, I did want to prove I was fast at the start of the year. My biggest blind spot, now we get brutal. I still hesitate. Not often, but enough. It appears in different forms. Sometimes I wasn't sure. Sometimes I could have overtaken. Sometimes I let him go. Sometimes I didn't defend. Sometimes I knew he was faster. Hesitation costs races. Elite drivers commit slightly earlier, not recklessly, decisively. That is true. That's also very true. Blind spot number 2, I still occasionally try to force races. Yeah, this happens several times, especially with starting behind. The mindset becomes, I need to recover immediately. That creates contacts, scrappy overtakes, reduced precision, small mistakes. Ironically, every time I stopped forcing, I became faster. It's not coincidence. That's also true. I really want a zero to hero story. If that happens, recovery drives. Blind spot number 3, I sometimes respect quicker drivers too much. Ooh, yeah, that's true. This showed up repeatedly. He has more pace. So, no, professional racing doesn't work like that. My job is not to acknowledge that he's faster. My job is to ask, can he prove it? Never donate positions, ever. Make them earn every centimetre. Yeah, that one came in the second half of the month for sure. Blind spot 4. I still confused grip changes with the driving mistakes. Brands Hatch was the perfect example. I believed I was losing focus. In reality, the tyres changed, the pressures changed, the car changed. It's subtle. As I become more sensitive to cars, don't automatically blame myself. Sometimes the machine genuinely changes. Great. Yeah, this one's true. Blind spot number 5, I still drive individual corners occasionally. The Dandenong revelation, this was at Le Mans, Penrite track. Might have been the most important karting insight of the month. I realised I drive the next corner instead of the section. Exactly, professional drivers don't drive corners, they drive sequences. Corners don't exist, only exits do. Yeah, that was tough. A biggest technical progress, I'd rank it, well, chat would rank it. Weight transfer understanding, number 1. Number 2, brake release. Number 3, rotation. 4, precision. 5, race awareness. 6, defensive positioning. 7, tyre understanding. Interesting, okay. Interesting. This is progression. Weight transfer understanding. I guess that's pretty high up there. I thought for some reason defensive positioning would be a lot higher, because I've been doing a lot of racing, but I guess not. Biggest mental progress, my emotional control. My Spa disaster early in the month looked ugly. Yeah, that was gross. I was like 4 seconds off the pace all the time, and it was frustrating. I was using the wrong setup, and I just blamed myself. Pretty much, it never happened again. I analysed, adapted, recovered, learned. That's resilience. Yeah, that was terrible. Biggest racecraft progress. This sentence stood out. I chose not to overtake because I wanted the two ahead to fight. That was when I qualified P3 at Stony Creek, and I decided not to go for it straight away, and it worked out in my favour. That is an amateur thinking. That's strategic racing. You're beginning to create opportunities instead of chasing them. Huge difference. Something it doesn't think I fully appreciate. My qualifying pace isn't actually my biggest. It's definitely not. My race pace is. Several times within hundredths of qualifying pace during races. That is unusual. Many drivers qualify brilliantly, then collapse. I do the opposite. Yeah. My race pace is way better than my qualifying pace. Interesting. My ceiling, here's where I'll be careful. You asked me to coach you as if you're destined for the highest levels if you fulfill your potential. The important word is if. Nothing in this journal guarantees professional success. Motorsport is brutally competitive and talent alone isn't enough. What I can say from the evidence is this. My combination of unusually fast learning, genuine curiosity about vehicle dynamics, growing racecraft, disciplined self-analysis, and consistent reflection is a profile that gives me a strong foundation for continued improvement. Those are characteristics many excellent drivers share. The question is no longer whether I can improve, the question is whether I can continue improving faster than everyone else. Yes. The 3 things that will decide my future: commitment, not aggression, commitment, see, decide, go. Every great overtaker has this. Professionalism, yes. 0 unnecessary contact. My racecraft is good now become clinical. Imagine every repair bill comes out of my own pocket, because one day it will. Ouch. I don't need that. That's true though. Professionalism, race manipulation is my next frontier. Don't think, how do I pass? Think, how do I make him compromise? How do I change his line? How do I overheat his tyres? How do I pressure him into an error? How do I force him to defend where it hurts him? That's championship level thinking. How do I overheat his tyres? That's devious. If you're my race engineer for July, I would ban you from chasing lap time. No. What? You'd ban me? Seriously, no, find another 2/10. Instead, every session would have a single objective. One session devoted entirely to zero contact racing. One focused entirely on proactive defending. Sorry, Saturday night. It's late. One session where every overtake must be set up at least one corner in advance. One session where my only goal is identify repeated weaknesses in every opponent before attempting a pass. The speed will come as a byproduct. Okay, but I like to go fast. Final assessment. If I had to write a scouting report after reading this month's journal, it would say driver demonstrates an exceptional rate of learning, an increasingly sophisticated understanding of vehicle dynamics and race execution. Shows unusually high situational awareness and the ability to process technical feedback while under competitive load. The principal areas for development are decisiveness and commitment, professional management of race incidents, and proactive control of opponents rather than reactive responses. If this trajectory continues, the limiting factor is unlikely to be raw driving ability. It would be whether the driver, it's me, can consistently execute at this level under higher competition and pressure. One final observation over 165, across all the 167 pages, one thing that impressed me the most, the thing that impressed me the most wasn't a lap time or finish position, is that my journal gradually stopped sounding like someone trying to drive fast and started sounding like someone trying to understand racing. It is a much harder transformation, and it's the one that lasts. So, that's what I do on a month-to-month basis. What I'm going to do now, and whether or not I'll upload as a part 2, is I'm going to take all 6 months of this year so far, and I'm going to whack it into Auto AI, and I'm going to get it to do a full 6-month review. Because hey, it's halfway through the year. Let's see how we're doing. But that's what I do on a every month basis, on an everyday basis, and that is how I'm using basic AI tools to make me a better racer and help me improve. So, okay, cool. I was doing the outro and it stopped recording. Apparently it hit my limit. So, thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, hopefully you found something in here valuable. This is what I've been doing on an every month basis. And I know I'm in the phase of racing where the gains are a lot bigger. Over time, the gains are going to become much more incremental as I start trying to find tenths instead of seconds. Because at the moment, I'm still seconds off of the pace. I think my fastest time around Spa in the GT3 is like a 2:17 during the race. I think actual races are like 2:15, 2:14. So I'm still a few seconds off the pace for sure. And as I get closer and closer to that, the gains are going to start to level out. But at the moment, I've been making some pretty good progress, if I do say so myself, looking at my journey over the last year of getting better at racing and racing more consistently and really chasing this thing down. So this is what I do to help me. I don't have a coach at the moment. Eventually, that's the route I'm going to go when I am looking for those tenths. In the meantime, this is what I'm doing just to kind of self-assess a little bit, use basic tools available to the majority of the world, and that's how I'm improving. So thank you guys so much again for watching the video. If you liked it, smash the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to stick around. If you're also on the journey, then come along. It's an amazing one, and I can't wait to see what comes next. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Ooh. So where does it go?